Now at 6, jailbreak explained. Deputies say a door at the jail was left open.
Also, the future of 3 school districts in Herkimer County being decided right now by the people who live there.
From Central New York's most experienced news team, where the news comes first. This is News Channel 2 at 6.
Good evening, everybody. It's a big day in Herkimer County. Residents are out voting on a final proposal to possibly merge the Mohawk, Ilion, and Herkimer school districts.
There are still 2 hours left until polls close. How has turnout been so far, and what are the voters thinking? News Channel 2's Hillary Lane is in Herkimer to answer those questions for us. Hillary, good evening.
Good evening, Kristen and Steve. If you remember back to last month's straw vote, it was here in Herkimer that the results were the closest. Now, as you can see behind me, people are coming out in full force. They want their voices heard in this final vote. Now, since we checked in with you about an hour ago, there has been a heavy stream of people coming to vote, 350 people to be exact. We've also seen some people who have come in, have taken a look at how long the line is, and said they don't want to wait and have just walked out and gone home. But officials say this is one of the busiest times right now because people are returning home from work. Now, there are about 1,700 people who have voted so far. That's compared to 1,200 people who had voted by this time for the straw vote. Now, people are sandwiched together in long lines in the hallway waiting to cast their ballot. The wait time now to vote is over an hour and 15 minutes. Now, throughout the day, we've listened to people having friendly debates in the hallway, demonstrating outside with signs. Earlier, we even saw a fight out in the parking lot where the police had to get involved. It's very clear that people are emotional and passionate when it comes to the future of these school districts.
I'm against it because, first off, my little sister is going to be going to Ilion School and my little brother is going to be going to Mohawk, and that'll be splitting them up, and I don't like that idea. And they're both very, very good in sports, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of heart broken by being the Kochs.
Because I have 2 little kids, and I want them to have a good education experience that offers them a ton of variety.
Here's what's at stake. If the merger does pass, that's $59 million in incentive aid for increased programming and more extracurricular activities. But people who are against the merger are concerned about more time on the bus for their students, and as you heard earlier, are concerned about the opportunities in sports. Now, if you want your voice heard, make sure to get out and vote. Just a reminder, you must vote in your home district. Kristen, Steve?
All right, Hillary, and you mentioned the wait time is over an hour. The polls close at 8. We're within that 2-hour window. So if folks are going to vote tonight, they're going to have to head down there now. So we'll check in with you again, or we'll check in with you again later, but we will have the results coming up later tonight. Hillary, thanks for that. Now let's go over to Mohawk, where hundreds have come out to cast their vote already. And if the school districts merge, the district would be about the size of the Whitesboro School District, which is about 2,400 students altogether. Some voters we spoke to are worried about the size of one large district. Others felt the increase in classes and options for students is worth the change.
The small town things that you're going to lose. I think a lot of kids get lost in the shuffle now, and I think in a big school it's going to get lost more.
I'm an honors student. I have been in honors classes since 7th grade, and this year I have 4 study halls. I signed up for 4 electives and try to get, extra college classes and AP classes, and we don't have them anymore.
And heavy turnout in Mohawk, as we mentioned. So how do voters in Ilion feel?
Lexi O'Connor is live at the high school. Lexi, good evening.
Good evening, Kristen and Steve. Now, for the past hour, multiple lines are just going out the door here at Ilion's gym, still getting that after-work rush of voters trying to cast what they think is best for their school districts, whether or not these 3 districts should merge. Now, election officials here say that already with the polls being open for about 6 hours, almost 1,400 voters here in Ilion have voted. Now, while some still want to keep their own schools and separate identities, other voters say it's time to put emotions aside and look out for the kids. An increase in classes and programs a merged district would bring.
Parents have to forget about the old rivalries because the kids, they need the proper education. They need the same quality of education as we got. So I felt yes.
It takes away in some aspects, I guess, because there's some things that we're not going to receive money-wise, but it isn't all about money. It has to come down to values, where your heart is and where your home is. You want to go to school where your home is.
Now, whether you're for the merger or not, all residents in Ilion, Mohawk, and Herkimer are all encouraged to cast their vote in the next 2 hours. And what's going to happen then at 8 o'clock when the polls close is representatives from Mohawk and Herkimer are going to bring both their absentee ballots and the numbers from today's votes here to Ilion High School, and all the votes will then be combined and counted in the auditorium here at the high school. Now, I'll be here live and at News Channel 2 at 10 and 11 to bring those results. Kristen and Steve, back to you.
All right, Lexi, thanks. And just to clarify, each district has to pass this proposal for it to move forward or for it to be binding. And this vote, it's twofold as well. We're also voting here on the Board of Education. So there's a couple propositions. Proposition 1 is, should the schools merge? Proposition 2, should the school board be made up of 5, 7, or 9 members? And Proposition 3, how long should those terms be? So if this goes through, if it passes, then we go down to Proposition 2 and then to Proposition 3, and we'll have all of those results for you later tonight. Lexi O'Connor live in Ilion.
And again, the polls close at 8 o'clock, and as you saw in our live shots there, busy night in Herkimer, busy in Ilion and Mohawk, as we were told too. Some long lines there. The polls close at 8. If you haven't voted yet, you're going to want to go out as soon as possible to do that. We're going to have team coverage tonight at 10 and 11. And again, if that merger vote is a yes, then the other two parts on the ballot will be will be decided. But if the merger vote is no, then the other 2 points become moot. So hard to say. Heavy turnout because both sides in this issue have been so passionate. It's hard to say what heavy turnout will mean. But again, the polls close at 8. What they're going to do, as Lexi said, they're going to bring them all to Ilion. But it still needs to pass each individual district. So if it's a yes in Herkimer, if it's a yes in Mohawk, but a no in Ilion, or any combination thereof, it goes down. It has to be yes in all 3 districts.
Right, and stick with us and keep in mind the polls close at 8. All of this has to be tabulated, so we'll keep you up to date as soon as we know something. Other news for you tonight. Fire crews were called to a 2-family home in Oriskany this afternoon. Flames broke out around 2 on Oklahoma Avenue. The first and second floor on one side of the home is charred. Still no word on what caused this fire. Oriskany and Whitesboro fire departments worked together, making sure the flames did not spread throughout the neighborhood. Everyone got out of this home safely.
Disciplinary actions against at least one employee at the Oneida County Jail are likely after an inmate jailbreak last week. Last Wednesday, John Santoro ran away from the rec area of the Oriskany facility. The Oneida County Undersheriff tells us an access door was left open. That allowed Santoro to evade officers, climb a gate, go over a rooftop, and leave jail grounds. He was back in custody within about 6 or 7 minutes. Santoro is being held on charges that he kidnapped and raped a woman. Here's a sketch of a man wanted in an alleged sexual assault case that happened in Kirkland. State police say a 15-year-old female was approached by the male on a nature trail off of Route 12B yesterday morning. He's described as a white male in his 40s, thin build and grayish hair. If you have any information, you're asked to call state police at the number on your screen, 315-366-6000.
200 jobs are headed to downtown Utica at APAC Customer Service. Utica Mayor Robert Palmieri says APAC has 100 different sites to choose from, but the old Boston store location is getting the extra jobs. A career fair will be held next week. With these call centers, you would represent some of the most recognized brands in the world. Of the 200 jobs, most are customer service or IT related, but there are some positions available for higher level management as well. Mayor Palmieri says the 200 jobs will bring APAC's local workforce to 600. The call center has called Utica home for more than a decade.
Anytime you could have something of this magnitude, securing the 200 additional jobs, it's great news when you secure a job and not losing it. But to add 200 jobs, I think it says an awful lot about the city of Utica.
The job fair is happening on Tuesday at Utica City Hall. You can stop by anytime between 10 and 3 and meet with APAC representatives about qualifications. Both part-time and full-time positions are available.
Local leaders are trying to raise awareness about elder abuse and where seniors can go for help if they suspect they're being abused or exploited. Assemblyman Anthony Brindisi today joined officials from the Oneida County Office for the Aging for an elder abuse seminar at the Whitestown Senior Center. Elder abuse can be physical, which sometimes occurs in nursing homes. Most often, though, it's in the form of financial crimes. Assemblyman Brindisi calls it the silent epidemic.
80% of the cases of elder abuse go unreported, which is unfortunate. So this is a topic that we really thought we should bring some more awareness to.
Also at today's elder abuse seminar, members of the Oneida County District Attorney's Office who prosecute crimes against the elderly, as well as police officers who investigate those crimes. Later in the newscast, imagine a life lived solely for others.
That's the path that led Mother Mary Ann Koch to sainthood right from her West Utica home. Her inspiring story in the minutes ahead.
A sunny, pleasant 66 degrees this afternoon, but things are changing for tonight. Your forecast is next.
Now, Storm Tracker 2 weather with meteorologist Adam Mussett.
Still mild for mid-October. At this hour, 62 degrees, our official reading at Griffiths in Rome after a high of 66. Tomorrow, not quite as mild, but still no big cool down in the short term. Wind southeasterly 8 miles per hour. Even though it will be almost as mild tomorrow, the changes will be in terms of our overall weather. Looks like we'll see some rain. Temperatures now in the 60s for most of central New York. It's 61 degrees at Tony's in Westmoreland. Dave over in Herkimer checks in with 62. Richard in Steuben has 61 and a pair of 60s for Boonville and for Westernville. We can see those clouds advancing in from southwest to northeast. All this activity ahead of an approaching cold front, which is now across the lower Great Lakes. And this front will push to the east through the night and into tomorrow. With it, we'll see some rain, even a steadier round of rain after midnight tonight, right on through the early portion of tomorrow. Temperatures will gradually cool back once the front goes through, but we're not talking any drastic cool down. By the weekend, temperatures will be close to what we'd expect for this time of year as opposed to well above average. 11 this evening, mostly cloudy skies. After midnight, that's when the rain arrives, and we'll see that rain work in from west to east across the viewing area. 7 tomorrow morning, steady rain all across central New York. So a soggy start to our Friday. The good news is the steady rain tapers to just scattered showers tomorrow afternoon. By 2 p.m., we can see the rains become more broken, and what's ever left over by Friday evening looks to be only limited, just a couple of sprinkles by 7 tomorrow evening, and then lots of cloud cover for tomorrow night. Saturday morning at 7, still in the clouds, and we could see a shower or two during the day Saturday, but even though we are expecting the chance of rain Saturday, it won't be nearly as extensive or as long-lasting as what we see for tonight and early tomorrow. Temperatures tonight mostly in the 50s, 56 for Herkimer, 55 in Cooperstown by 7 a.m. We're back into the lower 60s tomorrow afternoon. So as I said, still almost as mild, but we'll have to contend with the clouds and the showers in the 50s for tomorrow evening. Turning cloudy this evening, rain after midnight tonight in the low of 51. Steady rain early tomorrow, and then just scattered showers, 63 for the high. We do cool down Saturday, as promised. Upper 50s with a couple of sprinkles, a couple of showers, but not an all-day rain. Partly sunny skies on Sunday. We're 59 for the high, and then we warm right back up into the 60s for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All in all, not a bad 7-day. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us. This is a big moment in the lives of local faithful.
They've waited for nearly a decade for Mother Mary Ann Koch, who grew up right here in Utica, to become a saint. Koch will finally be canonized this weekend. Around 200 local people made the pilgrimage to the Vatican. Local Catholic school students got to Skype with the superintendent of the Syracuse Diocese, who was one of those making the pilgrimage. Christopher Momini spoke to the students right from St. Peter's Square, with the Pope's residence on one side of him, the Basilica on the other. Notre Dame's vice principal thinks that the fact that she grew up in Utica makes Koch less of a distant figure to local students.
The only thing that separates them actually is just the chronology of a generation. But many ask, they were amazed to find out that the site of where she grew up is still there. And actually some of her accomplishments. It kind of adds a little bit of color to some of the black and white reading they've been doing over the years.
The students got to ask questions about the trip and the canonization process. Mother Mary Ann was called to God and a life of service at an early age. As a child, she helped support her family right here in Utica.
As an adult, she established local hospitals and worked with lepers in Hawaii. News Channel 2's Jolene Ferris has more on a child and a saint who was born to serve.
Mother Mary Ann Koch was born Barbara Koob in Germany in 1838. 1 year later, her family came to the U.S., settling in Utica. Hers was anything but a typical childhood. Even at a young age, service was the hallmark of Koch's life. After finishing 8th grade, she went to work in a factory to support her family after her father became an invalid. In spite of her early calling to serve God, she couldn't enter the Sisters of St. Francis Convent in Syracuse until age 24.
Starting out as a teacher and then as a nurse, then as a founder of hospitals, then as a missionary when asked to go over there.
Mother Mary Ann helped those others turned their backs on, her beloved lepers on the Hawaiian island of Molokai. Most found it difficult to even look at them. Not Mother Mary Ann. In her later years, she dedicated her life to them.
Somebody the other day asked me what would prompt her to do that, and I think the answer, very honestly, is love. No, I think she saw the face of Christ in every person that she helped.
Mother Mary Ann didn't have a typical childhood, nor were her adult years conventional. At a time when women weren't exactly making strides in the business world, she helped establish St. Elizabeth Hospital in Utica. Mother Mary Ann, a hero and inspiration for today's youth? We'll hear from the bishop on that subject tomorrow. In Utica, Jolene Ferris, News Channel 2.
And Mother Mary Ann is not the only local woman becoming a saint on Sunday.
That's right. Kateri Tekakwitha, a Native American, the first Native American saint. There's actually a contingent of 200 parishioners from the Albany Diocese over in the Vatican to see that. She will also be canonized on Sunday, and both Bishop Hubbard and Bishop Cunningham from the Syracuse Diocese will be concelebrants with the Pope on the canonization Mass on Sunday.
It's an exciting time for Catholics, but also the Mohawk Valley as well. This is a big deal.
Absolutely. Only 11 saints, I believe, in the United States, and 2 of them are now going to come from the Mohawk Valley.
Very good. We went shopping with a New Hartford woman today who happens to be the winner of the $100,000 CMN prize. Kathy Jubis actually works at JK, so making a home improvement to-do list came easy. Kathy buys a raffle ticket every year just to make a donation. She never thought she'd win. Now Kathy will have a new kitchen thanks to the Children's Miracle Network.
We're going to redo our whole kitchen. We're talking about an island in the center. We have a good-sized kitchen. We're talking all new countertops, all new cupboards. I mean, we're just going to replace everything.
And the big purchase this year for Faxton St. Luke's incubators that run about $20,000 a piece. Coming up next in sports, the Yankees are playing for their playoff lives right now in Detroit.
And it is not good. Jason has an update on Game 4 of the ALCS. Plus, the UC men's hockey team drops the puck on their season tomorrow night. A preview is straight ahead.
Now, News Channel 2 Sports with Jason Pallas.
Good evening, everyone. We're just over a day away from the new season of Utica College hockey. The Pioneers opened the 2012-13 season tomorrow night at the Odd. Gary Heenan's team took the ice for just the first time this past Sunday, so you'd think there'd be a lot of work to do, but with their most experienced group in years, anchored by senior captain Evan Schlanda, the Pioneers are confident that it won't take long to work out the kinks. Also this year, Clinton native Jordan Obaika is back, now a junior and one of the team's 2 local boys. The team is excited to get back on the ice and put on a show for their fans who always pack the Odd.
Should play to our advantage that we've only had 3 days of practice going into Friday. I mean, we've got 22 returning players, so it's been a long time since we had a team this old, actually, and that's a great thing. So when you've only got 3 days, they know the systems from last year. We're not going to change a great deal up. We're going to play with what we know we play well in. And, we drop the puck Friday. We'll be ready.
We'll see what we can do as a team. We brought in a couple of new guys that will add to our chemistry as a team. And, just looking to build on last year, every single year, just trying to build on it as an individual, too, as well.
I'm very proud to be here. I've come a long way, and to be able to come back home and play, in front of all these people and to play for Coach Heenan, and it's a special thing, not only because we grabbed 4,000 fans, 4,000 fans a game, but to be able to come back to this Odd where I've grown up watching all the, the Devils, the Blizzards, the Prowlers, to be able to play in front of all those fans it's beyond words. It's special, and I can't wait till Friday night to see them all back here in the Odd for another season.
First puck set to drop Friday night at 7 from the Odd against Morrisville. And in Game 4 of the ALCS, it's ugly. Tigers lead 6-0 in the 6th. There was a no-hitter at one point, but Eduardo Nunez just broke that up with a triple. Tigers lead 6-0 in the 6th. This is not good. We'll wrap up News Channel 2 at 6 after the break.
Increasing clouds this evening will yield rain after midnight with lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, a steady rain in the morning gives way to scattered showers in the afternoon. Temperatures in the lower 60s for highs. A little cooler Saturday, maybe a sprinkle or a shower, but not an all-day rain. And then partly sunny, upper 50s to near 60 for Sunday.
Adam, thanks.
That's right. And again, that school merger vote, polls close at 8 o'clock. We'll have updates throughout the night tonight. News Channel 2 at 10 and News Channel 2 at 11.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.